Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. This is Dawn.
And Angie.
And this month for December, we're going to be talking about what every woman should know. Happy December the 10th. And we've got another show coming from you from our December 2021 series. And that series is on things that every woman should know. And our topic today is how to choose a conference or some type of business event that you would go to. And I've been going to so many of those for the last 25 or so years that there's a lot that I look for, right?
Definitely.
And the reason I have to look for those particular things is because I want to make sure that this is something that I'm supposed to be participating in. So I'll tell you my list, and Angie, then you tell me what yours is. And I know you've not been to as many as I've been to, but you have been to some where it's like a church event or something. Yeah. But something that I would say is that I look to evaluate the attendees. Like, for instance, when I was in National Speakers Association for over a decade, they would always put out the list of the attendees. And so the first thing I would do is look at who all coming from Texas. And then once I see who's coming from Texas and see what cities and where they're coming from, then I look to see which ones I know. Then what I would do is I would send an email to all of them and say, hey, I'm coming from Texas as well. Let's get together. Because, the Texas crew want to get together. So then we would kind of create a little, evening or something where we'd all maybe go get something to eat, or we would do some exploring in whatever city that conference is going to be in. So that would always make it really, really fun. And then, out of that, you can figure out if maybe you want to collaborate with some of those people, because every year there would be different groups of people. And you're talking about anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 people would go to these events, right?
Yeah.
I also look to see what other activities are in the vicinity of where the hotel is that we're having the event, so that in case, when there's something going on that I'm not involved in, then I could get out and do an activity either before the conference starts that day or after the conference is done that night. I never really worried about restaurants or anything like that, because you can always eat in the hotel, but activities, if I could go to the museum, or if I could go to a popular area or to an art wall or something like that. And even if I didn't have a rental car, there would always be somebody that would say, hey, let's catch an Uber together or something like that. I also look at the connections, like what kind of connections can I make by going to this conference? I want to be able to network really, really well. So that's very, very important to me too. If it's not my group of people that I would want to see myself connecting with past the conference, then it's almost like a deal breaker on my sheet of list. I look at the benefits. What are the benefits? Why am I going to this? Why do I have to pay this $2,000 to go? Why do I have to
it's true. Break it down.
Exactly. Like, I'm going to pay, because, you have to think of like this. Let me just give you an example with NSA, National Speakers Association. All right. They had 3 conferences a year. They were all anywhere from $700 to $900 to go. Then you're going to be there for 7 days. So that's at least $1,000 on the room. Okay. Because that's always at the Marriott, because that's who they're partnering with. Then if you had to get a rental car, that's about $300 for the week as well. You got to eat every single day. If it wasn't during an event where the food was already included, you still had to eat. And, I'm one of those people, I'm going to get snacks for my room and my own water in my room and everything too. So when it really break down the price, you were spending $5,000 per event. So if you went to all 3 of the events, which I did for 10 years, you're looking at $15,000 just on that conference. And that's also including any activities that you had going on. That also includes if you bought something new to wear at the conference, because there was a theme night for something. You know what I'm saying? So, people have to really break the cost of everything down. So I need to know what the benefits are. If I spend this $5,000, what am I going to get out of it? And I was a member there for a decade because I got a lot of great benefits out of it. And when the benefits of it stopped being what I wanted it to be, then I, stop being a member. I want to know what kind of materials are going to be given to me. I know I would come back with just bags of books and just so much stuff that just was exciting. You know, like when we used to go to the Ultimate Women's Expo, we come back with bags of stuff and we go through it like it was after Halloween candy time,
It'd
right?
be good stuff. It'd be better than candy from Halloween. It'd be
That's
really
what I'm saying. Good stuff, face stuff, beauty
samples.
products, books,
Yeah.
samples, a lot of food samples. I mean, just all kind of prepackaged stuff, you know. So I want to know what are you giving away? Because if I can see where this $5,000 was worth it because I got $5,000 plus in benefits in return, you got me on board. I want to know who the speakers are on stage. Are they people that I've either been wanting to see? I want to hear what they have to say. I've gone on YouTube and looked them up to just see what kind of speaker they are. Because I'm not really into the rah speaker, because I always, when I read a book or I go to a conference, I'm going to bring the me there. So I don't really need you to rah boost me up because I'm already coming motivated. So I don't need you to motivate me. So those never excited me. But if that's somebody that, you know, I know is going to be there, they're going to be giving away their book, or, you know, they've got a good talk that they're going to do, then I'm in. And then also I want to know who's presenting the event. Like who's the person that's presenting it. Like I've been to so many different type of conferences, but I want to know, you know, is this being presented by this company or that company? If it's a strange company, I don't know anything about them. And when I look them up, it looked a little maybe cultish. I'm not going. And then I check out the following year. Don't tell me that I'm going to be at a conference with 25,000 people, but I just looked on your site and I saw that the last 3 years, you only had 50 people in the audience. So what they do, some conferences, that people, leaders, they'll try to boost you up and tell you you're going to be able to network, because they know somebody like me, I want to network. So, you're going to be able to network with 15,000 people. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to be able to, they start talking your language, but then you have to do your own homework to see, okay, how y'all gonna get 15,000 people this year when you only had 50 last year, the year before that, and 25 the first year? So you have to really pay attention, because I remember I had a group of people who called me and tried to get me to go to a conference in Dallas, and they told me it's gonna be like 20,000 people there. The tickets were only this certain price, and they were trying to get all these small businesses, especially women, to get involved because they were gonna do this book about it and all this stuff. I went and looked them up. I think they only had 150 people that had ever gone to their conference.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe they added up all of the attendees every year.
Check this out though. When the date, I didn't go. When the date passed and the conference was over, they had 25 people that attended.
Wow, where did they get these numbers from? They really, people not gonna eventually find out.
Make them up out of the sky, baby. They make them up out of the sky. And I'm so glad that I'm such a conference junkie when it really benefits me, that I mean, I've gone a year and spent $60,000 on personal and professional development. So I know what it takes to get things done. And I know how to look up if I'm supposed to be there or not. And all of those factors have to join in it. If 2 of them are off, I'm not going. That's my measurement. If 2 of these things right here is off, I'm not going. What about you?
Mine would be to scope out what type of event it is, so I'll know what to wear. So like attire, if it's dress casual, if it's business attire. Definitely going if they got food and good food at that. Or samples, because I remember the last expo we went to, I had got a sample of something. I ended up actually going back to the website and buying their actual product.
That's good.
It was some type of feminine product. But yeah, I can't actually wait to go to the next one.
Well, let me tell you, what you just said is so important about attire, because, you know, I've been into a lot of conferences, you know, you already know. And one conference that I went to, I can't even say the name of it because they told us we could never tell, and I signed paperwork that said I wouldn't. And it was amazing. It was a 7-day boot camp where, I mean, you were immersed. You started at 7 a.m. and you didn't finish until 1 or 2 o'clock the next day in the morning. You only had a few hours to sleep. And let me tell you something. We had one night that we had to do almost like in school where you used to have to do a show and tell. We had one night that we had to dress our life theme. And I'm going to tell you something. In this particular thing, because there were several rooms they had set up at the hotel, but in my room alone, we might have had 500 people. There was probably like 10,000 people at this conference, right? And it was a whole 7 days, and it was in Los Angeles. And in my particular room for this particular thing, our show and tell night, we had about 150 people, maybe 200 in the room. And I did my thing. And by the way, my theme was I had this black turtleneck shirt that was long sleeve, and I had put these I had went and bought at the Dollar Tree. I had went and bought, the styrofoam paint, the styrofoam board that you can chalk on or whatever. And I had cut it out into little squares, and I had put all these things on me. And my theme song that I literally got on a stage, and I didn't say karaoke, I said I literally got on the stage and sung "I'm Every Woman." And on the shirt, it had every woman. I'm a sister, I'm a mother, I'm a cousin, I'm an entrepreneur. It covered all the sleeves, all the front. I just threw that shirt away last week.
Last week?
I just threw that shirt away out of my
How
closet.
long ago was this?
Probably 2014.
Wow.
I just threw that shirt away because I was like, that was fun. I got a picture, so I know I did it because I got a picture, but I just tore all of those names off of there and threw that shirt and everything away because I was like, I've been there, done it, I did it, whatever. Do you know that there was a man that got on the stage, and this is why I can't say the name of the conference or who was involved and who owned it or anything. There was a man that got on stage. His wife was there with him. They did the conference together. And do you know that this man was about 500 pounds, right? Maybe 600. And do you know that he stripped down naked? And the reason he stripped down naked is because he had a complex all of his life because his member was smaller than the lead on a pencil. I was there to see it. We couldn't bring cameras in there.
Is he the reason why y'all had to sign the paperwork?
No, there was a whole lot more shenanigans went on than him, but this one is burned into my memory.
Oh my!
Because I had
it's burned into mine now too. I got a whole visual.
All of my entire grown life, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. And this man got naked. Only thing he left on was his hat. And he sung this song, and his wife cried like a baby because she was so proud of him that he was overcoming that his member was smaller than any pencil. And I'm not talking about the fat pencil that we used to like when we were in elementary. I'm talking about a regular number 2 pencil. It was that small. And I walked up to the front of the stage because I was in disbelief. And I was like, oh my God, I see now why. None of the whole conference, you couldn't bring no cameras in there because they had people in there burning money. And when I got up to the stage, this is another thing. When I got up to the stage and everybody was lined up and they said, throw your $100 in the thing and burn the money. When I got to the stage, I said, the devil is a lie. Y'all not gonna get me to burn no money. And the man asked me to come on the stage and he asked, why didn't you burn your money like all of these other people? I said, because I respect my money too much. Me and my money have conversations and we respect one another. And the more I respect my money, the more it grows. You know what that man say? I'm falling in love with you right now. He said, you the only one in this whole conference out of all of these people who did not burn $100 bill. I say, look, I don't know what y'all doing up in here. I'm participating, but I'm gonna let you know what I'm not gonna do. And I did not burn my.
It just shows you how many followers you just went to a conference with.
And that man hugged me so tight. You know what he told me? He said, everywhere I go in the world, I want you to come. And do you know he would pay for me to go to the conferences, pay for my hotel, fed me very, very well. It wasn't no janky stuff. He wasn't trying to do nothing. He just was like, I respect you. He was like, I respect you and I want to teach you everything I know now. He was like, I cannot, because if I said his name, you probably wouldn't because of your age, but everybody in this entire universe would know who this man is, and I cannot say his name. But anyway, back to the other story. All I'm saying is, what if you had gone to that conference and you didn't know that you had a theme night? You wouldn't have been able to fit in and weren't able to fulfill the assignment, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
So knowing the attire for something is important. But even when I used to go to the National Speakers Association conferences, they'd always have a ball night, like a dance night, or you'd have to, you didn't have to, but you were expected to dress up in your best attire because it was like the ball, the grand finale, the event, that you wanted to really just step out and show people what you look like in your fine clothing and stuff. So I always, like right now, in my closet, I got thousands of ball dresses and different stuff, but that's because I always was ready. So I never had to get ready. It's like you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So that's why I have so many clothes in my closet. If anybody ever saw my closet, they would probably be like, this is ridiculous. But see, they don't know my life. They don't know all the conferences I went to. They don't know I networked 7 days a week when I first started in business, and through 10 years of it. They don't know that every time I, showed up to different conferences and stuff, I wanted to make sure I participated at the highest level I could. So when you do that, you have to have the clothing to be ready so that every time you go on a trip, you're not trying to buy stuff, but that you got things in your closet that you can pull from.
Yeah.
to pull. And because there's so much taking pictures of everything, you're not going to be going to the same conference wearing the same clothes every single year. You want to at least say, okay, I wore the blue dress to National Speakers Association. I can maybe wear that blue dress again to this other event over here, but not to the same event. So attire is really, really important. So our show for December 10th is how to choose a conference. And I've got my list. I evaluate the attendees, the location, the activities, the connections, the benefits, the material they're giving, speakers on the stage, who's presenting the event, check out the following year of what went on. So I know if you lying to me or not. And Angie's was talking about attire, which is so important. And you can see from the 2 examples I just gave you that one is very, very important. So thank you so much. Thank y'all for listening to the show. Thank you for listening to our examples. I got a million stories I could tell you, and you'll get to hear them all at some point. But when you've lived some life, you get to see some things that are very interesting. And I've seen some things that are burned into my memory. I'm pretty sure I'll never forget them. And, that's our show for today.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Mother Daughter Ish. Make sure you're sharing our channel to others that can relate to any of the topics we're talking about so far. And also like and comment on our content so we can talk back with you.
Oh yeah, we so want you to comment back because we want to see that you're enjoying what we're saying. We want to also give you the authority and the permission to know that you have the right to comment and let us know how you feel about something, whether you like it or you don't like it. We still want to hear from you because we love the engagement. So until next time, bye for now.
Bye.